small-scale sector. We know that there was a moratorium that was placed on the sector about 21 months ago by government, and we know the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is passionate about making sure that his people, his government, those he has put in place who need to make sure that they streamline the sector, do it adequately. And that is why we had the Inter-Ministerial Committee on Illegal Mining that had undertaken a number of activities over the last couple of months, since March, we're told. And they've done so much already. We'll be having some members speaking to us. And then also we'll have the secretary to the committee, Charles Bissio, coming in to give us some highlights. Notably, we already know that some 931 concession documents were submitted. We also have about 848 or 91% vetted or taken through processes of verification, knowing that whether they are the right people having the documents, that they were the owners of the companies that applied for concessions to be mining in some of those areas, and they already have a number of them also pending. So we'll do a general perspective on what the work has been so far by the committee, and also get to speak to those who are involved in the process themselves, those who have applied to be part of the whole small-scale mining, get concessions, and whether they qualify, what they went through, what benchmarks were set for them. Because we know that the Committee on Illegal Mining, that's the Inter-Ministerial Committee, they have deployed a number of technologies. We have drones that were used to do reconnaissance missions to get to know which areas currently need to be mapped out for Operation Vanguard, more so which areas were being mined illegally even though the moratorium was in place. So we'll have all that. But before we do all that, let's set the tone right. So we'll bring to you a documentary that does a recap of the journey so far, where we've been, and what the intention of not only the committee but also government is on the subject of streamlining the small-scale mining sector in Ghana.
Last year, Omo de fifidi asim atu kuku ni nyina de agufo me kohwe yampa mo tu kuku ni nyina agufo. In fact de eye me wafuo mo no Nyankopon hata we no eden, because anka me de minum sempanifo asase ye de agame na anka medua asukuku anka daachi bi me ma benya so emfaso no no ma anka hwe omo tu kuku yi nyina agu esan eseye asase.
Just one activity is on the verge of destroying the very fiber Ghana is made of, and stopping it has become almost impossible. Ghana, known formerly as Gold Coast, is on its way to be known as Polluted Coast. The reason behind this is the almighty Galamsey, the local name given to illegal mining in the country. What used to be a traditional craft with less environmental consequences has been transformed due to the introduction of Chinese technologies, which is having an effect on almost everything.
Mama ya hand neno nizo aka ne ya wara na bo kalam se ka mozu mo bawo kalam se o waka da badaba neno woni ngi chi mo ba ye wo azranye ba fu diare na kinziri mikechi ara ma adudu ma ma no ha kwa ke nzime se ye makarabe aka da baba ya kalam se ya banye wo zuru ba ye wo azre ne eji azo iwe mve me shi ndumbiri ba banye kalam Galamsey no man ha kwa ke matrabe enne be vawo fre be guazani azo mono ha kwa ke ebi okoko ba ande ko de ba yen be du okoko ni be vike na no ha so ke koko imi efe di yare efe ni ema.
The activities of Galamsey in the country involves crude and wasteful methods, which produces one of the stiffest challenges to public health. It involves methods that use water and alluvial mining techniques, that cause devastating pollution of rivers, streams, and lakes. Toxic chemicals such as mercury that have long-term health implications on communities for generations are released into these water bodies. Farm and forest lands are being destroyed to mining. These consequences have pushed the government to set up the Inter-Ministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, IMCIM, and commissioned the IMCIM Secretariat.
During the electioneering campaign, the flag bearer stated that when Ghanaians vote for him and the New Patriotic Party, he's going to ensure that we sanitize and restructure the artisanal and small-scale mining sector.
We were immediately confronted with a situation where the water bodies were polluted, the soil was being degraded, the forests were being depleted at a very fast rate. You may know that at the turn of the century we had about close to 9 million hectares of forest in Ghana. Now it is down to 1.6 million hectares. And the rate of deforestation is about 2% per year. We also noticed that the major rivers in Ghana were polluted to the extent that the Ghana Water Company could not process water in many of its water treatment plants. And so something had to be done.
The president formed the Interministerial Committee to deal with this matter. The committee was formed as a sub-cabinet committee, and it has about 10 ministries that are collaborating to sanitize and restructure the artisanal and small-scale mining sector.
When you know that the activities that they're involved in are jeopardizing the very survival of our nation, I took the decision that there would be a betrayal of the trust that the Ghanaian people put in me on the 7th of January this year. And as a result, we established this committee within the government to design a policy for us, not just to stop it, to reclaim the land, to let our rivers work again, but also to see how we can figure a way for all these able-bodied young men who are involved in this activity to find an alternative livelihood. So it's a package. It's a package that we have designed to try and bring this menace to a conclusion. I've said it in the cabinet, and perhaps it's the first time I'll be saying it in public. I am prepared to put my presidency on the line on this matter. I've heard it being said that I should be careful. Many of these people voted for me, and if I continue this exercise, perhaps they will not vote for me again. And I'll say to myself, well, this is a choice that all of us have to make as human beings. You do what you think is right, or do you do what you think will allow you to get along? I think that you do what you think is right. That is what you're required to do.
Ghana's legal mining partners play an important role in Ghana's economy as it attracts more than half of all foreign direct investment, FDI, generates more than 1/3 of all export revenues, and the largest taxpayer in the country. Galamsey, on the other hand, is depriving the country of its major resources like minerals, forest cover, water bodies, agricultural lands, and our priceless possession, citizens of Ghana. One of the major government bodies at the forefront of ending Galamsey is Operation Vanguard.
I'm in constant touch with the Operation Vanguard team stationed at Abosu, which is also within my municipality on constant basis. We have a program of action that is based on information gathered at the various areas within my municipality. We team up and move down to flash out some of these illegal activities, which is of a great harm.
1,360 operations in general since they've been there. They've arrested during that period 1,533 persons. They've destroyed one of the most effective architecture on the river, which we call Champagne. They've destroyed 6,184 champagnes. They have confiscated from the users 201 excavators. They are processed in court and gotten convictions of 141 people.
Many operators of Galamsey are of the view that it has become their source of livelihood. Although many are observing the ban as expected, are still indulging in Galamsey activities after more than a year that the ban came into effect.
Two years down, obey ban Netflix. 2 years down, so I say, and in him say, himself, Kaya so Friday, Germany, in Zibia, or even Netflix, and I man and the air started.
Yet, say, I want to buy 3 years ago, or more for Kukune, back up, washing it to her. Until 3 years, you man. As if you now want to crowd. Nama and I get the machine question. Machine, machine. Oh, that be guarantee. Guarantee fee. Indian phone. India phone. Right, Bogos. Some renting machine. But renting machine. Okay, you're in 5 days, not my one. 12,000. 12,000 cities. Yeah. 120 million. 120 million. How much million says you can edit for a machine? Oh,
the more Canadian sanity. We are from, but I was share until my back. Because they are not fear for so many years. Nana, Banlina, say, Jumana, Nana, Betranson. Maybe Jimani, but yes, I guess I think you also will be banned now. In fact, young Columbo school, first school is I'm say free, no, I'm free. But yeah, my fiance, I shall have us in my who out in Senana or left a band in the about
It's affecting agriculture in a way which is very insidious, in the sense that it's not something that you can see happening a day or two, but definitely it's affecting the way agricultural resources in this country are being utilized. If you take the forest region, for instance, it's to do with land, particularly in the cocoa growing areas. Gold is more valuable than any other agricultural crop.
In the Galamsey areas, many children of school-going age are enticed by the monetary gains of Galamsey, which leaves them with no motivation to get educated, thereby increasing school dropouts in these areas, a phenomenon with severe implications in the future for Ghana. The gaping holes created by illegal mining have trapped and killed many children, women, and farmers. Such deaths always make the headlines and die with the passing of time. What happens next either encourages or discourages the Galamsey menace.
The ministry has developed a program for alternative livelihood. First of all, identifying the illegal miners, the Galamseyers, and making it a community activity, assessing the situation, assessing the socioeconomic needs of the place. The ministry has the Department of Community Development. They have their decentralized department at the district assemblies. They worked with the national office, the ministry, and the community development department to assess the situation and came out with the assessment report. And that became the database for us to use to develop a program, an alternative livelihood program. And about 5,000 people registered interest, 5,000 Galamseyers. So we identified the institutes and the training requirements and what they had, what they were interested in. Where we don't have the capacity, we will bring a resource person to provide for that. So far, the areas that they've identified include building and construction, electricals, plumbing, masonry, and mechanics. And through the interministerial committee, funds have been released for that, for the assessment and for the identification and the training. So as I speak, 500 of them are in seven vocational institutes now, 7.
To help curb the menace, reduce its negative effect, regulate and monitor it when the ban is lifted, government is training drone pilots and small-scale miners at the University of Mines and Technology to make sure small-scale mining won't ever pose a threat to our very survival as Ghanaians.
They've learnt drone flying, they've learned photogrammetry, and they've learned GIS. What I've started seeing that the level of confidence has been boosted. They are very confident because the training is not only focusing on training them on how to use the drones and just processing, but then we try to conscientize them about the responsibility of a citizen and the role that they have to play. I told them that they are heroes, and if they are able to do the work well, that's how we'll be considering them. So they should see themselves as part of the solution. Just after the training, you have a drone to yourself, and you are going to help your district to fight against illegal mining. And so the tax ahead, they are ready to help the problem.
We have indeed learned a lot of things. And I think by the knowledge we have acquired here, nothing is going to prevent us from doing the right thing when we go back to our various places. Yes, top galamsey. What who say it will be a yantwade, will be a sin a Juma and Cosso and a crack because a galamsey so me 1 million. Let's be a moving nipa 4 times 1 million. We are talking about 4 million. Say I can tell you say nipa 4 million. Etifie our Majuma and Cosso school fees be in Tia na the ade. That tells you say I say serious about the galamsey. Name I say you're responsibility. I say you know Senator ya and ha. We even want to use this opportunity to apologize to many Ghanaians that have received that, bad aspect of our operations.
I can say that because of the general support that the president has amongst the Ghanaian people for this fight against illegal mining, there somehow is an acceptance by even the illegal miners themselves that this is in their interest and in our interest and in our collective interest as Ghanaian people. That appreciation, I must say, is there.
First, me and Tiasi. So the Machina for your city quite be a first year BDBI, but first year DD, but you could train in the buy and I who said the experience in Woman. Is the who said the paying for no kind. And Ukraine say a nimpa in phone and no more agreement. It is here training like Kobayan, so I may have one boom. It is here the area answer, Senana Dauma.
I want to thank the Small Scale Miners Association. They've been very, very cooperative. We know it's been tough this 1.5 years, but that's the nature of things. We need to make sure that we preserve our biodiversity, our land, our water, the soil, and everything, so that we can survive. And we will put in measures that will help us not to go back to the way we were doing things. We also thank the Media Coalition for assisting us. We thank our chiefs and opinion leaders. And we want to appeal to those who are hiding and doing the wrong thing, that please let us do the right thing so that we'll get the money that we need and also preserve our forests and rivers and soil.
As a government, we promise to ensure that the life of every citizen is protected and the environment is safeguarded. This, we believe, will be our only way to bequeath the nation, and future generations will also benefit from it, and our desire as a nation to achieve the goals outlined in the SDG framework by 2030. The fight against galamsey is a fight for our survival.
Assassinate airport in Timaya, Mojana Nanum Shegu Edigu on my